dirt sheet. Hey! 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 Hey!
Yo, welcome to the All Elite Dirt Sheets, your AEW Dynamite post show. I am your host, Mike Dinero, joined as always with my co-host, TK in the building. What is good, man?
Yo, what's up, Dinero? Feeling good, man. Coming off a pretty strong Dynamite, man. I'm feeling pretty good, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Definitely a strong Dynamite. 4 title matches. They stacked this card out tonight in Virginia, for sure. So,
yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that this was probably one of the stronger Dynamites in the last couple of weeks, and there's been a lot of strong Dynamites. I'm excited to get into it if you're ready to get into it.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to roll straight into it. 4 title matches. Should have called it Title Wednesday or something, dude. What were they? What do they used to call those?
Title Tuesday
shows?
or some shit.
Title Tuesday.
Oh no!
What they did on Saturdays. They used
Battle for the Belts.
Battle of the Belts.
Yeah. It was always like corny belts. Like, what were we doing? Like, it was never the world championship match on there, right? It was always like ROH TV title on there. And it's like, what are you doing, bro?
Oh, dude, it was just like an extension of the Friday show. Man, I lost.
Rampage.
They haven't done this shit in so long. I'm on all the new shit. Rampage, Battle of the Belts. But yeah, I always used to feel like an extension of that for sure.
Speaking of extension, I didn't even realize this, but they announced that AEW Dynamite and Collision is going to be one show next week. We're going to have a 3-hour show.
So that's why it's 3 hours. So it's not like a 3-hour Dynamite. It's a 3-hour collaboration of the two shows.
Yeah, but I mean, I always thought that that's a little corny. If you ask me, like, it should just be a 3-hour Dynamite because, like, to be 2 hours into a show and then all of a sudden put like a new logo on it, it's like it's the same show.
And then like there's like it kind of screws our fantasy wrestling too. Because then we got end Dynamite after the 2 hours. We start the Collision aspect. Some real interesting cats sometimes get that lead into the Collision. That's something completely different.
All right, let's get into Dynamite. Fairfax, Virginia had a hell of a show, like we just said. Started out hot with the TNT title match, Kevin Knight versus MJF. This was a really good matchup. If you ask me, I think this was a lot better than their first matchup, and I like their first matchup. This was also in the same spot as the first matchup. The first time these two met, it was in the opening of the show, and they really delivered. This was another really good matchup. MJF took the beating to Kevin Knight for most of the matchup. Kevin Knight had some really cool spots. I like the spot where he was diving out onto MJF 4 different times with 4 different dives. It was really cool. In the end, though, surprise, surprise, we were asking last week, like, what are they going to do to like finish this matchup? In the end, Kevin Knight gets the victory over MJF. So MJF, he grabs the belt, distracts the referee, goes into the tights, grabs the Dynamite Diamond ring, and then Kevin Knight hits a low blow, rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, MJF taking another big loss on Dynamite. So before we get into what happens afterwards, what did you think about MJF losing here?
I thought the match was really good. Like you said, I do think it was better than their first match. If I recall being on the air that after that night, I said, I don't feel like that match with their initial match was very special.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was because they were, there's more meat to that bone. They were holding off. I think they were holding off here. I think this match was really good. I think they have a great one in them down the road. But this was really awesome. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." They were into it the whole time. So you love to see that. Kevin Knight had a surprising amount of offense throughout the course of the match, I thought. I think it was really 50-50, which was cool to see for him. And then, MJF lost. But it wasn't clean. Again, when he lost to Darby, it wasn't clean. When he lost to Kevin Knight here, it wasn't clean. That's like he's just like, what the fuck? But the good thing about that is it's like, fuck you, Max. That's how you've been doing people for 6+ years now.
Karma.
Yeah, in the biggest way. I got a lot to talk about in regards to the AEW World Title picture. So I guess we got the segment coming up here. So I don't know if we want to hit it here, if we want to hit it after the World Title match, but really like what AEW is doing here with these guys. We ask for storytelling every week. So after Max loses the match here, he grabs the stick right away. Darby's out right away, and then we lead to the next segment. I really
from the rafters, no less. Not to cut you up, but from the rafters. They only pull it out for special occasions.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it. But I just love how they're intertwining shit to start the show, leading to the end of the show. And they've been doing this week in and week out, basically telling that story of their main event in the early parts of the show. And I really appreciate them doing that.
No, yeah, for sure. That was one of my biggest critiques like a couple years ago with AEW. Like it just felt like everything was like on an island of its own instead of having like one story play out throughout the whole show. So I like that they've been doing that too. And it is very noticeable. But yeah, after the matchup, MJF is pissed. He starts beating down on Kevin Knight. And then from the rafters, just like his idol Sting, out comes Darby Allin and he takes out MJF. MJF gets on the mic and he said he didn't care about the TNT title. He just wants back his Triple B. He wants back the world title. And once again, Darby Allin just says no. He said, if you're going to get a title match, you're going to have to put something on the line. You're going to have to sacrifice something like everyone else had to sacrifice to get to this part. But Darby Allin does say that he does know someone who will get a title matchup. And he looks at Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight, who called out the winner of Darby and MJF 2 weeks ago, now we'll get the title match just like we predicted because you had Ciampa get that title match. Kevin Knight's getting the title matchup. And then out comes Brody King, who felt like he was being overlooked. And he told Darby, you're not going to make it past me tonight. You're going to lose the title to him tonight. And then Kevin Knight has to face Brody King in the main event next week. I just love how there's so many different people in this title picture right now. And it's keeping things fresh, whether it's someone who's like never been in a title matchup, whether it's someone who, has been in a couple title matches, but like they haven't been in there for a while. It's really fresh to have all these fresh faces because it did feel for a while that world title picture was consisting of like Hangman, Moxley, Joe, Swerve, and it was like just those four. Then MJF came back, won the title, and since then we've been getting fresh faces, and I love that. So talk to me about the segment. What do you think is going to go down with the future of this? And is Darby Allin going to survive? Because I mean, shit. We'll talk about the main event also. I don't know how he fucking survives this title reign if he's taking matches like this. It's insane.
Yeah, the main event was wild. I absolutely loved the segment. Like you said, Darby coming down, I popped so hard for coming from the rafters. I mean, I didn't see that coming. It felt so random, but damn, it hit, and it hit hard. Him just the simple, subtle no. Again, it's just no. I'm curious what it is that MJF is going to, present to Darby to make Darby take this match. I think that's where we're going. I don't know if it's going to be a double or nothing. I think, we'll talk about that once we get, to the main event and everything that happened there. But again, I love how you intertwine this. I was sitting there like, all right, Darby's just straight up like fucking disrespecting Brody King. Like, no, it's me and you next week. Kevin Knight, Brody coming out was perfect. So you got MJF. I love Brody getting in MJF's face again. Like they obviously had the history there. I mean, Brody's now had a lot of shots, and we'll talk about that later. But you said fresh faces, and that's huge, man. If you would have asked us 3 months ago, Brody King, Kevin Knight, Darby Allin, Tommaso Ciampa, world title, Andrade, world title mix in AEW, we're like, fuck off, dude. Are you out of your mind? But Tony Khan has done, and maybe it's MJF, but maybe it's just these guys are just naturally talented themselves. I mean, they've just done such a good job. I mean, Darby has been Darby, but we've discussed at length that we didn't think it was the right time for him. The way they figured out to make it the right time has been awesome. Ciampa, his elevation is huge, man. Brody King's elevation since Brodito. He can't win a match. He can't win a title match. Which I don't know. Maybe that ultimately leads to a heel turn from him again down the road. I don't know. And maybe that's how he gets his singles gold. But Brody's been elevated. Kevin Knight, super elevated. I guess the only one I kind of feel bad for is Speedball. He's relegated to just like walking Kevin Knight's. Maybe he's hurt or something that we don't know about. Maybe that's why he's mixing it up, which is totally possible. But dude, it's awesome. And Ciampa, I mean, fuck, this guy's gold, man. So it's really cool to see what Tony Khan and the talent are doing with themselves to get these guys over and elevated. Even if they're not winning these world title matches, Kevin Knight, TNT champion. Brody's going to get a singles championship at some point. Ciampa has already been TNT champion. He's going to get a singles championship again at some point. It's awesome to see, man. The roster's fucking stacked, dude. And I love seeing segments where you get title match into segments, showing your talent, showcasing what you're going to have in the main event. Really, really good, strong start to this show.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And then after this, we see Copen Cage backstage. They accept the challenge from FTR for an I Quit matchup. Do you think that is necessary? I know the challenge was laid out to have a New York street fight. Then we have the stipulation added to it that if Copen Cage lose, then they'll never tag team again. And now we're adding I Quit to that as well. Do you think it's overkill? Because when I saw this, it's like, all right, like how much are you going to add to this matchup? Like, is it a cop out because you think people don't care? Because I think that there's still legs on this feud. I don't think you have to do all this to make the matchup special. You have 3 different stipulations on one matchup. Do you think that this is a little too much?
Did they make it official that if Cope and Cage lose, they can't tag together? I know that they threw that out last week, but when FTR accepted it and said they wanted to be an I Quit match, was it with that stipulation still in place? That
yeah, no, they did mention that, and after this, you will never be a team again. So that's 3 different stipulations on one matchup.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, they could have probably done without the street fight if they were going to move it to an I Quit match. Obviously, you can do whatever you want within the I Quit
same
match.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, I like that it's an I Quit match. I do. I think that they could have just did the I Quit match. I also like the added element if Cope and Cage lose, they can't tag together. Because let me tell you, man, I'm not gonna say like boring Christian was, but like Christian was kind of like reaching that plateau. That he was like getting stale, and Cope, no one gave a shit about Cope. Let's be real. No one really gave a shit about Cope. I gave a lot about Cope and Cage against Roppongi Vice last night. Like that was fun, dude. And it like they're old school tag team together. They work so well together. They flowed so well together. I was like, man, I don't want this to end now. So now I feel like it's even more so like go win that fucking match, guys. So I'm with those 2 stipulations. No, they didn't need a street fight. I Quit. And if they lose, they can't tag anymore. That would have been sufficient for sure.
Yeah, because I saw on the website this morning, like the graphic does say New York City street fight I Quit match. Like that's a mouthful. We could just call it an I Quit match. Like what we doing?
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, we see the Brawling Birds back in tag team action. They're going against Emily J and Jordan Blade. They make quick work of them. And then from there, we get Sky Blue and Thekla, who's basically calling out the Brawling Birds because both birds lost to Thekla. So, I mean, are we going to lead to another matchup between one of the Brawling Birds and Thekla, or should Thekla be on to the next thing as the world champion and like get the Brawling Birds ready for that tag title shot? What do you think is going on with the women right now?
I mean, the only match you could possibly have is Thekla versus Jamie versus Windsor and like go triple threat with it. But what sense does that make? I still think the women's division, while it's good, the matches have been good. It's just so discombobulated right now. Yeah. I don't know where they're going, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't need to know where they're going. It just feels with your women's championship, I don't feel like there's a legit contender. And I don't think either the Brawling Birds should be the contender. I mean, she's beaten both of them, right? I think she cheated to beat Jamie again. So I don't know, maybe they got some legs there. Triple threat's the only route. I mean, Double or Nothing's only they still got 3.5 weeks. I don't know who you build here. I'm over it personally. I'm over the Brawling Birds versus the Sisters of Sin and Jamie Hayter and Thekla. I want to see Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor pursue those tag titles. I think the Brawling Birds are perfect tag team champions. It was nice to see Divine Dominion finally back in Dynamite this week. So that was good. We asked for it, we got it.
Yep.
So I was happy about that. But bro, I don't know. It's not that Tekla's title reigns have been boring, but they need to give her a real opponent, man. Like the Mina thing and the Birds, it's not that it's not working. It's just it's not believable to me that anyone's gonna beat her. I want a real opponent for her, which sucks because it was supposed to be Tony, and I really do think she was gonna beat Tony and like really solidify herself as like that main event player that she is showing that she is right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think the title reign is necessarily good right now, and it's not on Thekla because Tekla is trying. She's cutting promos. Like I like the promos that she's cutting, right? I love the matches that she's in, but you're not really setting up a contender to be like a clear shot, like for the world champion. It's just random women going in and losing matches to her. There's like no build to a contender to get to Thekla, where it's like, all right, I see this, woman on the rise and she's eventually going to get a title shot and I want to see that title shot. We're not building that contender right now. So I don't know where they go from here, but yeah, it's been a month and some change maybe since Tony Storm has been taken out. And we're still talking about how, it's all discombobulated. And I don't know how much the plans were fucked up with Tony Storm being taken out, but like, you got to get it together, man. There's a lot of talented women on that roster. Even if you want to dab into the freaking Ring of Honor roster, there's a lot of talented women within the whole, stratosphere of AEW. Let's start building a clear-cut contender. Let's not break up tag teams. Let's not separate tag teams to get title shots. And let's not put tag teams together because shit, even if they want to go with Chris Statlander building herself back up, that would have been fine with me. But Statlander's in this weird tag team with Sheeta, and I don't think that needs to be a thing either. Like, put Statlander back up. Why are we doing, a tag team with them? It's like you're breaking up tag teams like the Brawling Birds. You're putting teams together that don't need to be together. It's very weird right now with the women's division.
And who else do you have? Like, so Thekla did beat Statlander a couple of times after she beat her for the belt.
But she cheated.
She beat her in the rematch. And then she beat Mina. And then she beat Jamie. And then she beat Windsor. Like, I mean, I think we already said it's going to be Mercedes who takes the belt off of her. But who else is left in the division? Like, a big name like that. Willow. I mean, do we bring Willow back up into the world title picture?
You just hire Persephone, start building her up. Like, that would be a good matchup. Yeah. You have women like Athena, who should have been on AEW full time for years. Billy Stark, same thing. Like, come on. Like, there's definitely women that they could build up to get a title shot against Thekla instead of doing all this weird shit with the Brawling Birds.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think they probably had a Tony Storm feud lined up for what was the last pay-per-view? Dynasty? For Dynasty and Double or Nothing. All these fucking D's, man. They threw me off. But for Dynasty and Double or Nothing, I think they had a Tony Storm feud lined up with Thekla, and they just have no idea where to go with it now. And it sucks because Double or Nothing, I don't know where they're going to go. I think maybe they go triple threat. I think that it's going to be my early predictions, Thekla versus Jamie versus Windsor. And, like, that's their best bet to try to get the belt. Thekla still walks out with the belt. And then I have no idea where Thekla goes from there. But yeah, Athena is a great shout out. I wish Athena been TBS champion already, and then already going for the world title. And when do you bring Mercedes back? Because the second Mercedes is back versus Thekla, you got to think Mercedes is going to win the title. So I think, like, I don't bring Mercedes back until the Owen Hart starts again, and I just have her re-win that and then take the belts off of, I guess, Thekla at All In. But that's a lot of booking away. I don't know, man. I don't know who you elevate 3 weeks from now to put in that world title match with her,
which is also confusing because I thought the same thing with like the Owen Hart, but usually the Owen Hart starts and like it ends at Double or Nothing. No, we haven't had any.
Oh no, you're right. It does end at no, not
because last year it ended at Double or Nothing.
What's the other pay-per-view?
Forbidden Door.
Wait, was it Double or Nothing that it ended at?
Yeah, because remember, it was
later. Is All In later this year than usual?
I think All In is in August. Last year it was in July.
Yeah, so maybe they're
gonna push it.
Yeah. Which so that means it could start soon, which means that the Mercedes trajectory is maybe sooner than later then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that, but I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of confusion right now with the women. I mean, and it's not on the women because like everyone who's in there is very talented. I love seeing them, but there's a lot of confusion. Let's talk about the AEW International Championship matchup. Gosh, a lot of big words here. International Championship matchup: Kazuchika Okada versus Ace Austin. Ace Austin is the fucking man, bro. Like I really like Ace Austin. I love this stuff in TNA. I liked his tag team with Chris Bay, but not since he is really on his own here in AEW am I seeing like how good this guy actually is. There was a couple times in this matchup I thought Ace Austin was going to pull up like the upset. I would have been okay with it too, but like I know we're building towards Takeshita and Okada, so I am fine with Okada retaining. But Ace Austin really shined here. I thought that he definitely is a big star in AEW in the next couple of years for sure. What do you think about this match?
Bro, a couple 2.99s, man. I thought Ace Austin walked away with the belt at one point. I like legit like popped out of my chair. I was like, what? It was good. He was very impressive. Very, very talented kid. I want to see more of him. I want to see more of him with the guns. I want to see more Juice Robinson. There's no reason that they are just not embedded into that tag division and trios division weekly. I know that they sprinkle the Gun Club in, or they sprinkle the Bang Bang Gang in. It seems like, I guess, semi-monthly on Dynamite and Collision, so they showcase them just a little bit. But, man, I want to see these guys mixing it up with the Rascals. I want to see these guys mixing it up with LFI, dude. I want to see these guys mixing it up. You set it up last night with the Don Callis family. You got Dumb Truck, and you got Roppongi Vice, and you got Clone, you got Hechicero. You got Juice and Ace and the Guns, dude. Like, and you got the Dogs. I know Gabe Kidd got hurt. Maybe we were going there. Maybe, we weren't. I don't know. But you got the Dogs there, man. Fuck it. I'll have a mix up with the conglomeration, dude. There's so
something,
much,
right?
The demand, dude. Like, the Herd Syndicate. Like there's so much the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there's
100%.
so much talent in this division. I want to see these guys on TV every single week with something of importance. I love seeing that showcase from Ace Austin. Very good stuff.
Nah, I agree, and I think that they should be showcased more. I don't know if they're waiting for Jay White to get back to really like start showcasing them more, but I mean, that sucks if that's the case because Rock Hard, he's super talented. Ace Austin, super talented. I don't know. I think Colton is probably still injured as well, but Austin Gunn, I forgot his first name for a second. Austin Gunn, super talented. So yeah, like showcase them. There's a bunch of trios. Throw them in the trios. I would love that. After this, we got what, in my opinion, was the segment of the night. Fucking brilliant segment here we see the Death Riders training, and then all of a sudden we see Will Ospreay. Last week we talked about Will Ospreay being basically, kidnapped by the Death Riders after his matchup with Mark Davis. And then we saw on Collision that Jon Moxley wants to rebuild Will Ospreay to be the perfect weapon in professional wrestling to take that world title. Jon Moxley sees something in Will Ospreay, and he thinks that he needs that killer instinct, and he needs to be rebuilt by the Death Riders. And then we see here that Will Ospreay, not cleared, but still going to Japan, which Ospreay was like, yeah, I still got to go to Japan and help my boys out. And Okada said, I respect that. I love the loyalty. And then he starts telling him, you got to let go of all this. Let go of everything in your heart, your hatred for me, everything that we've been through, your soul. Just let go of all of it because it's time to rebuild. And Ospreay is like, okay, let's go. This was a brilliant segment. Like this shit got me really excited. And now to think the Death Riders with Will Ospreay and then building Will Ospreay up to eventually go into All In, which I think we're on the same page. He should get the world title at All In. This is amazing work by AEW.
I had, first of all, I guess I'll talk about the promo itself or the segment itself. Fantastic, dude. We talked about like what would be next for Ospreay and Moxley, like what would be next, and I think we might go back and listen to it. I think we might have preluded on like maybe what if the Death Riders try to help elevate Ospreay? What if they help him out? And like when they abducted him, I was like, I don't think that they're abducting him in a bad way. I think they're, and we were right, bro. I think like we kind of hit on this before it happened, and let's fucking go, dude. We all thought it was going to be Will Ospreay and Darby Allin. I know we got a world title match to talk about later, and maybe we're going to go from there. But maybe, just maybe, it's Ospreay and Darby, man, at All In, and we get a twist. We've seen we saw Ospreay and MJF already at All In. Maybe we don't go back that route. Maybe we get Ospreay Darby. And I'm not saying Ospreay's the heel, but maybe Ospreay's a little fucking ruthless, a little vicious, dude. Darby's body's going to be beat up. He's going to be doing these challenges week in and week out. I don't know. That's just fantasy future booking right there. The segment itself was fantastic. Everything Moxley said. Moxley was just so pristine, so on point, just showing why he is like one of the best in the world at everything that he does. A couple of really funny takeaways from the backstage. I thought Daniel Garcia was fucking money in the package. You could tell that Pac hates Ospreay and was like, why are we fucking doing this? And Moxley walking up and tickling Pac, bro, that shit popped me like crazy. Yeah. So just like showing like the Death Riders do have personality still, because Garcia was all into it. He's just like, let's fucking go. And then Ospreay's like, and he's finally like, all right, fuck it. Where's the ring? All defeated about it. And like, what ring? We're gonna wrestle on this cement back here. Claudio takes his shirt off. They all played their part so perfectly, man. And it's again like we talk about with the Death Riders. Are they faces? Are they heels? What are they? Is Moxley the face or the rest of them heels? They very much are just showing tweenerism tendencies right now, and I think that that's going to play into something that happened later in the night, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I like all this symmetry that's going on with the roster now, and it's fucking crazy how much we all hated everything that was going on with the Death Riders for like 7 months, and it all was building and leading to bigger and better. Swerve, Kenny, Ospreay, Ops, Darby, bro, just fantastic what fucking Moxley and the Death Riders did. Just incredible work these guys did.
Well, if you remember, the original mission of the Death Riders was not to kill AEW, but to make it better. And I got to say, it's better. So I think that mission complete, and I love what they're doing here. But yeah, I would love if it is Darby and Will Ospreay. I don't know if you remember their matchup that they had at the Continental Classic like 2 years ago. Yes. That was the matchup of the Continental Classic. Insane, man. Like, I definitely would love to see them run that back. Main event of a pay-per-view. They're just going to go fucking crazy. So definitely, I'm all down for that. Earlier in the night, we spoke about FTR. We spoke about Cope and Cage. Cope and Cage had a rare tag matchup here on free TV because I don't even think was this the first time they ever tagged together on Dynamite?
Dude, I was thinking the same thing when I was watching. I was like, is this like a thing? Have they done this before? So
yeah,
I think it might have been.
So yeah, probably the first time we have FTR come out there on commentary, and it's Cope and Cage versus Roppongi Vice, which had to happen. I mean, RPG Vices, they got in the whole business of Cope and Cage for a couple weeks now. They helped FTR jump them. So like I was eventually expecting this matchup to happen. This was a super fun matchup though. Like two established tag teams who are really, really good at what they do. And I had a lot of fun watching this. I think that it was a fun story also with the conglomeration and FTR during this matchup. Like you had all that stuff happening where the conglomeration was fighting off FTR in the crowd to make sure that they don't interfere. I don't necessarily think that FTR needs to go after the trios titles, and there's a bunch of trios like we mentioned before that the conglomeration could go after, or they could go after them. So I don't know why we're doing this, but I thought it was fun. The segment was really good. The matchup was really good. Cope and Cage pick up the victory after Cope has the popcorn hat helmet. A lot of fun shit here though, but like I definitely think that it's like what you said, it's getting a lot of fun to see Cope and Cage as a tag team right now. So I don't want them to necessarily break up. So I'm calling it right now. I know we're going to be doing predictions in a couple weeks, but I think they're winning the tag titles at Double or Nothing.
Good shit. Yeah, man. I hope you're right. I really do. This was a lot of fun. And they gave it time too. I think they gave it a commercial break and a picture-in-picture break. I love Roppongi Vice. I love their theme song. I'm not going to say like they're a legendary tag team, but they might be like a top 75 tag team of all time, man. So getting to see them throw down with Edge and Christian or Cope and Cage, a lot of fun. The match was a lot of fun. The storytelling was a lot of fun. We saw the conglomeration FTR thing being built for a few weeks going back on Collision. I get why it's happening, but like you said, so many trios, tag teams out there that can be going with the conglomeration right now. But I'm excited, and we'll talk about the backstage promo in a little bit, and how and who their partner is going to be. So that was kind of cool how that came about as well. But all in all, the match was a lot of fun. I like the storytelling with FTR being out there with the conglomeration chasing him off, and Cage and Cope they were just real symmetrical in the ring, man. They flowed. It was smooth. I want to see them against the Young Bucks for the tag titles. So I need them to retain those belts. I agree. Win those belts and retain being able to tag together.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if we don't get a triple threat between those three teams, I think that at All In, we're probably getting Cope and Cage and the Young Bucks. Dream matchup right there. I wouldn't be mad if it's a dream matchup instead of doing like the triple threat TLC. I don't want to see, either Cope or Cage get injured. And we've seen these guys are not scared to take high risks in these ladder matches. Look at Cope going off the cage and then like he tore his, patella and was out for a while. So like we could keep it to just these regular matches. Have the street fight, but we don't need to do ladders and tables and all that other shit. But so talk about something fun. Let's talk about something that's not fun because we are still continuing this Jericho and Ricochet shit. And I am just over this, man. We talk about it every week. Just over it. Like we saw Jericho team up with the Hurt Syndicate, still failed. If this is to build for the learning tree, getting back together, then just do it already. Like I think that this would have been the perfect segment. If I would have been a fan of the segment, if you had Ricochet like staring down Jericho when Jericho was down, and all of a sudden like Big Bill just boots him in the fucking face or something. Like do something like that. Like this is taking too long and it's not interesting. It's not exciting. It's not entertaining. I don't know. Jericho's return so far, it's just been, You have anything about
it? Started hot and then it was here and it is flatlining, but what are these guys going to do? Why are we continuing to do this? Right. It's got to be leading to the learning tree getting back together, but it's got to be done. You got to do it. You got to set up this, trios match for Double or Nothing. Like you got to get to. I mean, if Jericho can't beat these guys with the Hurt Syndicate, how is he going to beat these guys with Big Bill and Brian Keith, the Bad Apple, right? What they call
I would rather Bobby Lashley than fucking Brian Keith. But
like, come on, man. I don't know. It's what are we doing here? Yeah, this was definitely. I was going to say I thought it was a pretty flawless show, but yeah, you're right. This one segment did kind of bring it down just a smidge. It was a backstage segment. Backstage segment. It was quick, just a smidge. But yeah, what are we doing? It better. It has to. If it's not leading to the learning tree, I mean, like, what are we getting out of it? Like, what can Jericho put, or what kind of stipulation could Ricochet put on the line that Jericho would want from him? Like, it just doesn't, at this point, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like, I don't think it's gonna take down the show too much, but a little smidge, right? Next up, we have for the AEW Tag Team Championships, the Women's Tag Team Champions, Divine Dominion versus Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander. I'm just glad to see Divine Dominion on TV. Honestly, like, they won the titles. They look dominant when they won the titles, and when it's been very few and far between seeing them on Dynamite. I know we've been getting them on Collision, but this is the main show. This is their A show. You got to showcase them here on the A show on Dynamite. Good win for them. Good victory. I still don't understand why Shida and Statlander are together. I don't think that they really gel together as a team. I like Shida. I don't want to come off like I hate Shida, but it's not on Statlander. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I hope that we can just be done with this. Like, if this is going to lead to a matchup between them, just do it. But Divine Dominion, they had to get this victory. I'm glad they did. They looked really good in there. They look dominant as always. So glad to see them. What do you think about this match?
Yeah, man, I like Divine Dominion. The more and more I think about it, though, the more and more I wish it was Megan Bayne who won the TBS championship and not the tag titles. I just feel like she's way too hidden in these tag. And maybe it's just like there's not enough tag teams like we discussed last week. But I think the sooner we can get these belts on the Brawling Birds, the better. And Megan Bayne, man, she fucking just is a rock star, man. I want her. And that's nothing. No snide on to Lena Cross. I think she's very good too, but I just think Megan Bayne is a fucking superstar, man. She really is special. So I want to see her back in the singles division. The match itself, I thought the match was solid. I like when Shida suplexed Statlander into Bayne. I thought it was pretty interesting. They clearly are trying to tell a story where Statlander and Shida are going to wrestle like Double or Nothing. But I mean, do you care? I don't really care. I don't know.
It better be on the 0 hour. I can tell you that much.
you think it'll be on the 0 hour?
I think it'll probably be on the 0 hour. Yeah.
I don't. I just don't. Yeah, I don't. I love Stat. I like Shida. Shida's returns kind of felt flat, but maybe it's just because they got her in this weird tweener role. Like, does anyone believe that Shida attacked Toni Storm? I mean, like, I don't. The backstage shit. Harley's crying. Like, Harley, go do something. You were so over, man. Like, I think why not Harley and Thekla? Why couldn't you send Harley after Thekla? Like, we're sitting here talking about all these women. Harley Cameron was over, and now she's just sitting here like legit crying because Statlander's teaming with Shida. Like, why don't you go do something about it and get a title for yourself? I don't know. I don't hate it bad, but I thought the match was good. I was entertained by the match. I really was. The match went long. We did a commercial. The match was really good. I don't hate it by any means. I guess the Shida and Stat stuff in the tag division just is. But again, we need tag teams, right? Like that's what we talked about. If not, say that 10 times. Shida and Stat, Shida and Stat. If not, Shida and Stat. Who else is Divine Dominion wrestling against on Dynamite that's not a filler team? So, like, while we might not like it leading to the matchup at Double or Nothing between these two women, who else, right? And if it gets Megan Bayne on TV, then I'm all for it. And again, the match was good, real good.
Yeah, and you know what? I've been seeing a lot of Megan Bayne stuff on GCW. She's such an over babyface as well that I think that if you were able to turn Megan Bayne and have her go against Thekla, that would be fire too. Because Megan Bayne is so over as a babyface. Like, she's doing great work as a heel in AEW, but if you see her GCW stuff, like, that crowd loves her. And she really plays into it a lot too. So, like, I want to see eventually a good babyface run for Megan Bayne.
That would be awesome, dude. Nice call out.
Talk about what I want to see. Bro, we just we're teasing it every single week. We're teasing it. But next we got Andrade backstage with Don Callis, who is confronted by MJF. Give me this fucking matchup. I don't know why I want this matchup so much, but I need to see this matchup between Andrade and MJF. I think that they would do an amazing match. They'll have an amazing matchup. They have probably really, contrasting personalities, but a lot of similarities. I think that it would be an amazing, amazing matchup. But basically, I love how just like suave Andrade is. You got MJF saying like, "This is all your fault. You lost that match." And he's like, "How you know?" And then he's like, "How you know?" He said, "Because I saw it." He said, "How you know?" He was like, "Because you lost." And he takes off the glass. He's like, "How you know?" Like, Andrade, fucking hilarious, man. Like, this was a great segment. If they're building for this matchup, I would love to see it at the pay-per-view. Like I said, I don't necessarily want to see MJF just take the title back from Darby Allin right away at Double or Nothing. But give me fucking Andrade versus MJF already, man. They keep teasing it. Can we stop teasing and just do it? What do you think?
Dude, please have this match at Double or Nothing. I don't want MJF taking his belt back from Darby at Double or Nothing yet, man. I think the more and more I think about this, the more and more MJF doesn't need the belt. I guess we'll see how TV ratings are, because when Max had that belt, they were fucking popping. I'm not gonna be that guy, but since Darby got the belt, they have gone down about 100,000 per episode. All right, like that's a fucking substantial drop. So if Max really is that guy carrying the show, then maybe you do think about putting the belt back on him. But I love the Darby Allin Open challenges. So looking at it from a non-business perspective, I hope Darby keeps the belt all the way through All In. So we now get this Ospreay Death Rider backed against Darby, just to be fucking crazy to think about. But MJF and Andrade, please Double or Nothing, man. And I think MJF's got something to go record. So have Andrade get that win too. So then you can build Andrade versus Darby, maybe on a Dynamite, but Andrade versus Darby, maybe part 2, and another pay-per-view match for the world title, which maybe that's a Dynamite match. I digress, but you get Andrade into that world title mix against Darby as well, which they had the handshake after the match. So you got that mutual respect there. But definitely give me Andrade and MJF, and give me Andrade getting the upset win over MJF, dude. Keep building that guy.
I think they should keep building and build him to the moon. The guy is over more than he's ever been in the past. Like, let's fucking put the rocket ship on him. Let's go. You got to strike when iron's hot, and right now Andrade's hot. Speaking of someone else who's hot, Roosh. Roosh gets not a title match. Roosh gets a matchup here on Dynamite, and he's been getting a lot of frequent singles spots in Dynamite, on Collision, and I think that if Darby Allin is looking for opponents, I would not be mad if after next week, I know we're getting Kevin Knight, but after next week, since you're doing a weekly challenge and Darby Allin is taking these matches where he's basically getting killed in these matches, give me Darby and Roosh. I think that Darby and Roosh would be a really good matchup. And like I said, why out of the blue are they building Roosh up? Roosh not only got a win here, obviously it was like a squash match, but he also got some mic time. You know, when you mess with the bull, you get the horns and all that shit, right? I love it. Fucking give me Roosh and Darby Allin. Do you think that that's the route that they're going? And why out of the blue is Roosh getting like more showcase time here? Because for a while it was like, where's Roosh? And now he's all over.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. I would love a Dynamite TV match between Darby and Roosh for the world title. That'd be cool. I think that we have a couple of baby faces who are going to need a couple of baby faces who have mid-card singles titles, like Kevin Knight and Jack Perry, who are also going to need contenders built up. So I can see Jack Perry versus Roosh. But at the same time, I know Jack Perry just got that belt, but I want Roosh to have some singles gold in AEW at some point. So maybe not now, but maybe Jack Perry and Roosh for the national championship, or maybe Roosh and Kevin Knight at Double or Nothing for the TNT championship. Either way, I could see that as well. But yeah, why not? Same thing we were talking about those other guys earlier. Throw them in the match, have the world title match, lose it, but it elevates you being there in the first place.
No, yeah, definitely. I love Roosh, man. I've been a big fan of his for many years, so I'm not mad at it. I'm also a big fan of the Ops. Samoa Joe is so awesome. I'm so glad that Samoa Joe's back. You know, gotta say Anthony Bowens looks really good with the Ops as well. You know, it looks like we're going to be getting the Ops feuding with the Death Riders again, right? Babyface Death Riders. And it seems like Samoa Joe wants Will Ospreay to make a decision. It seems like he wants to have Will Ospreay on their side. He reminds Will Ospreay when all this happened to him with the neck and everything, it was the Ops who was fighting off the Death Riders. And now it's like he kind of forgets all this. He forgets that the Ops had his back. And now that he's aligned with the Death Riders, it's like, what are you doing? I think if we get Ops versus the Death Riders here and Will Ospreay somehow in the middle of all this, it's going to be fire. So what do you think about this segment? And do you think that we'll get, you know, who is Will Ospreay aligned with? Is there going to be a storyline where is he going to like think about going with the Ops because they had his back in the past, or where do you think this goes?
Yeah, I do. And I never thought that we could be going down this route, but I think that's going to be fantastic. Dude, the Ops were so dead, in my opinion, just as of 2 weeks ago. And even with the Bowen stuff, I'm like, who gives a fuck about Anthony? And I like Anthony Bowens. And I'm just like, who gives a fuck about Anthony Bowens joining the Ops? Bowens, Hook, and Shibata? Who fucking, that's a conglomeration.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is that, right? But, dude, Samoa Joe, man, Samoa Joe brings such legitimacy to that fucking faction, man. And then it's crazy what a baseball hat can do. but a backwards baseball hat and a gold chain goes a long fucking way, dude. Because Bowens,
100%.
without the fucking smile and without all the fucking he's always hyped, you know what I'm saying? Bowens fucking chilled, composed, looking hard. Dude, I can fuck with this, man. The ops look legit. Shibata's always a monster. Hook, not imposing at all, but that's Hook. You know, you get what you get with Hook. Ops look impressive, man. I very much look forward to seeing what Ops and the Death Riders, like, are the Death Riders going to be the faces here? Are the Ops going to be the heels? Because the Ops, even though the Ops have been the heel faction, they came off as cool with the Joe promo. And the Death Riders came off as cool, but they weren't trying to be cool. So I'm like, are we going to get like two tweener factions just going at it over the love of Will Ospreay? And then you got to remember that Kenny Omega, last time we saw him, he had cut that backstage promo with Will Ospreay telling him to
that's right,
head up, keep going, you could do this. So, like, is he the real good on his shoulder? Are the Death Riders the good on his shoulder? Are the Death Riders the bad on his shoulder? Are the Ops supposed to be the good on his shoulder? Are the bad? All these guys with Will Ospreay anticipation, the world title's not even involved yet, just building him to the world title. Bro, this shit is fucking fire, dude. So fucking good. I love it all. I cannot wait to see where we're going to go with these two stables and Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega in the world championship going forward.
I agree. Fuck whoever says that AEW doesn't have stories. Top to bottom, the show has story, and they're all cool. And speaking of Bowens with the hat backwards, exactly. Like, do I ever wear it forward, bro? Like, that's why.
Bro, that's why you look so hard. You know, it's like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's go.
But like, aren't I right? Like with the Bowman with the hat, I was just like,
when they started this thing about Bowens wanting to be with the Ops, and I saw like Bowens was like weekly trying to impress Hook. I'm like, bro, who cares? But then when I saw him with them, I was like, he actually looks fire with them. Like, let's go. I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah.
So speaking of the conglomeration, because he said that this is like the conglomeration, right? You have the conglomeration feuding with FTR as a side feud here, kind of as like a side quest. You have FTR with the tag titles feuding with Cope and Cage, and then you have FTR feuding with the conglomeration. Stokely wants a trios title matchup next week on Dynamite. And at first I'm like, are we going to see Stokely in the ring? But then in comes Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa with FTR as a trio is going to be fire. We saw them team up as a trios a couple weeks ago when Ciampa took out Mark Briscoe. I'm all for this. Now all of a sudden I'm excited. So this is going to be a great match next week. What do you think about the trio of FTR and Tommaso Ciampa?
So I guess I have a question. First of all, the trio of Ciampa and FTR is awesome, man. That's not as black and gold as black and gold gets. That shit fucking gets me going for sure. The conglomeration, I mean, it's all black and gold. I mean, you got Roddy, you got Kyle, you got FTR in there, you got Ciampa in there. I mean, that's sick. Well, mix in Orange Cassidy. I think it's going to lead to Mark Briscoe's return for sure. So I think that maybe we end up getting a Mark Briscoe versus Ciampa match at Double or Nothing. I know we already had that on Collision, but maybe we get some sort of like Street Fighter, another Street Fighter no holds barred match or something along the way at Double or Nothing. But I'm excited for it. I guess my question is, though, I thought I saw that it was going to be Orange Cassidy versus Dax Harwood on Dynamite. And if Orange wins, then two of them get a tag title shot. And if Dax wins, then they get the trio shot. I could be wrong, but I thought I saw that.
Was that for Dynamite or Collision? Because I didn't get the full card for Collision. I know they were showing matches throughout the night. I tried to write down as many as I could, but if that's the case, I still think we go with the trios titles shot because I feel like we got to see Ciampa with FTR. But either way, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
I'm intrigued. I love the. I think it's all setting up to lead to a Mark Briscoe return.
Oh yeah,
got to be right.
Especially because that's the conglomeration is his team. You know that Mark Briscoe basically put them together. So if you have FTR teaming up with Tommaso Ciampa and they're feuding with them, then it's the perfect story to have Briscoe come back, get his revenge on Ciampa. But Ciampa last week looked like a fucking maniac and the monster in the ring. So like if Mark Briscoe comes back, he's going to have to, and I'm not saying nothing about Mark Briscoe. I love the Briscoes, right? But Mark Briscoe is going to have to definitely put on his working boots because Ciampa's like a whole new level right now, especially with that matchup he had with Darby Allin last week. So
yeah, no, I can't wait. I love Mark Briscoe too, man. I think that they could put on a fucking just really, really good middle of the card, maybe second, third match of Double or Nothing, and just to entertain the fuck out of us. Another Sunday show. But it's Memorial Day weekend, so that's cool. So it's really like a Saturday show. So
most definitely. I'm still trying to get tickets. You know what I mean? It's in New York.
hope
It's my
you
neck of the
do.
woods. I got to get tickets, bro.
I hope you do. I
I
hope
can
you
do
do.
a all elite dirt sheet from the parking lot. You know what I mean? That'd be fire.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yes.
So let's see if that happens. Like, hopefully. But let's talk about the main event. AEW World Title matchup. Brody King versus Darby Allin. This was insane. I wrote down here. I don't know how.
Before we get into the main event, I'm so sorry to cut you off. Can I ask you what you thought about the Swerve and Bandito segment? Did you see that or no?
Oh no, I didn't see.
So all right, cool. I'm glad I brought it up. So Bandito, you know how they do the skits where they're like in the bar, like in the rodeo area or the Texas, like the old school West, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They do those skits with Bandito and shit.
Yeah.
And like Bandito missing or whatever. Like I think it was a Bandito missing poster. And I was like, oh, cool, Bandito's coming back. Let's go. But no, man, it was Swerve walking.
How did I miss that shit?
Yeah, it gives me goosebumps. I'm so stoked, dude. It was Swerve walking through Bandito's little Wild West. He picks it up, lights the fucking on fire the picture of Bandito, like a hole through it, and then then he just like him and Prince Nana laughed and it cut away. So I'm gonna think we're gonna get Swerve and Bandito at Double or Nothing, dude, which should be fucking fire, man.
That would be amazing. Also, we've been asking, where's Swerve? Why did Swerve just walk away after that matchup with Kenny Omega? So that would be a great way to bring him back, introduce him back by a victory with Bandito, and then off to the races. Yeah. Swerve versus Darby Allin for the title. You could do that too. Cool. God. Insane. Darby Allin versus Brody King, man. I wrote down, I don't know how Darby Allin survives this match, let alone this title reign, because after the matchup he had with Tommaso Ciampa last week and then the matchup he had with Brody King here, it was just physical as hell. There was so many insane spots by both guys. Darby Allin was holding his own. That one spot where I think it was Brody King was going for like the cannonball on the outside, goes right through the guardrail, which is nasty. The power bomb onto the concrete, the code red onto the freaking announce table, just insane spots. Darby Allin, I don't know how he survives these matches, but I don't know. He just comes back every week and he's ready to do it all over again, man. What did you think about this main event?
I thought the match was phenomenal, dude. I thought it was really good. It started a little slow, but man, did it pick up quickly. And it was good. I loved the overrun. Like you said, dude, those spots, the coffin drop on the floor, which led to the coffin drop in the ring. It was I really like how it ended. So, you almost got the count out, and Darby was like, I'll take the count out victory. I don't give a shit, dude. And he's in the ring, and you got the 9. Brody barely gets back in the ring, but he's still on the mat, and then boom, coffin drop. And I think he had 2 coffin drops in the ring. I think he went coffin drop, coffin drop. I hate how he picks their fucking head up for the pin. It drives me crazy every single time he does it. I feel like he's taking their shoulders off the mat, but whatever. Like grips the head like he always does, and he got the win. But I loved how the coffin drop on the cement into that. It made me nervous when he was up there. I was like, oh my god, please don't miss. I was like,
for real, I wrote that too. I was like, if Brody turns over, or he like rolls over, and you have just Darby smacking the ground, I'm done. There's no way that this guy bounces back from that. I don't care if he came back from worse looking shit. There's no way you could fake a fucking drop like that to the concrete. So
no, man, I was like, thank God that he didn't roll out of the way. All right. And then I really liked how the match ended there. He knew he had to use his body. I think he had a coffin drop earlier in the match where he hit one of his moves and Brody kicked out and really won. So like he had 3 of them there to get the win. And I like after the match, Brody shaking his hand. I don't know how long Brody stays a face for though. I can see Brody turn on Bandito one of these days, just going fucking crazy Brody, and then finally getting the strap. But for now, I like the respect factor again after the match with Brody and Darby. Yeah,
most definitely. And I also like how they set the table for next week. You had Kevin Knight in the crowd have a stare down with Darby Allin. That matchup is going to be very good. I think they also had a matchup at the Continental Classic this past year. Pretty decent matchup. And Kevin Knight actually got the victory. He beat Darby Allin. So it's going to be very interesting to see what goes down next week. But overall, what's your thoughts on Dynamite? What's your rating?
Yeah, man, it was a very, very strong show from start to finish. All the title matches were good. I really enjoyed the main event. This world title picture is fucking hot. It's cooking. I don't know where we're going into Double or Nothing with the world title, though. Is it going to be Kenny Omega, maybe? Is it Darby and Kenny? Like, that's what I'm kind of holding out for. We haven't seen Kenny in a couple of weeks. He's coming back from his injuries, but last time he was there, he said, maybe I do have one more shot in me. But what is that shot? He just lost to MJF clean. He comes back. He gets the Darby match. He he loses, and then what's next for Kenny? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely intrigued to see where we're going to go with the world title picture. Where does Brody go from here? MJF and Andrade, is that where we're going to go? I mean, like, what are we doing with Darby every week? He's going to keep killing himself. Who's the next challenger? I like the Sammy Guevara come up one of these days. They got a lot of history there.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. But I thought Dynamite all in all was a really, really fire show, dude. I'm gonna give it a strong 4.5 out of 5. Really no weaknesses. I could probably argue a 4.75, but nothing really like wowed me. It was just like a fucking strong storytelling good in-ring show from start to finish. So yeah, solid 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, most definitely. I actually did give it a 4.75. I feel like not only did you have great action, but you had great stories throughout the night, great backstage segments. Like the way that they set these stories up to go into the pay-per-view is just amazing. And I feel like if it was not last week or 2 weeks ago, I gave it a 4.5 just off in-ring action because the in-ring action was a lot better than the backstage segments. I feel like the segments and the action tonight was so good together that you had to take it up a little bit. So definitely a 4.75, a great episode of Dynamite. So we have a great episode of Collision on the way too. Like, you want to name in some of those matches? Because I was seeing the matches pop up and I'm like, there is a lot of heat coming on Collision as well. Collision's been fire. Collision's been fire.
Real good. Yeah, we got the Death Riders and the Dogs teaming up again, and they're going to be taking on the Rascals in Top Flight. So that should be pretty good. I think I saw it was Wheeler and Danny. They're teaming up. Who are Wheeler and Danny taking on?
I forgot. I need to look. But yeah, Wheeler and Danny is the tag team that we need from the Death Riders. We've been saying that too. Somebody's watching. Somebody's definitely watching.
Bro. I know. We were calling a lot of this shit early, dude. We are. Yeah, Wheeler and Danny should be strongly represented the tag division out of the Death Rider. Like every week, these guys should be thrown down. I don't remember who they're taking on. But
who got a match.
Yeah, Wheeler and Danny are in action. What else we got? We got like 6. Let me see my phone. I'll pull it up really quick. We got a real strong Collision on Saturday. It's like in Peoria. It's live. Yeah, so it is going to be Orange Cassidy and in Dax Harwood on Wednesday, that match. So Collision, we got. Oh yeah, this is a banger. Oh yeah, we got 3 title match, dude.
Kevin Knight and Hook for the TNT.
Yeah, title week continues in AEW. Kevin Knight and Hook, double action for Kevin Knight. Willow defending her TBS championship against the returning Anna Jay. That's good. Nice. Jack Perry defending the national championship against Mascara Dorado.
Should be fun.
And then, Moxley, Pac, and Claudio with the Dogs. Clark Connors and David Finlay against the Rascals in Top Flight. And, and that's where we're looking right now. Oh,
looks like a fun show.
Bandito with a little tweet back. If you're looking for me, I'm here, buddy. Ooh,
Let's do it. And right before we get out of here, right? I know the talk of the wrestling world was all these WWE releases, right? And I thought it would be a little fun to say, who do you think out of these releases end up here in AEW? I don't want everybody in AEW. That's the one thing. I hate when, everybody just shows up in AEW. So who do you think out of this recent batch of releases by the WWE, who does show up to AEW, and who do you think fits for AEW?
Oh man, I have a very select, I think maybe extra overly opinionated, differing opinion than most here. The releases, I really don't want any of them in AEW. I think that they were released for a reason. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm not gonna say here and dog the talent, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of them were released for a reason. There are some that I want, like Malachi Black, for example, right? I think Malachi Black is just so talented, but at what point does he just not connect? In AEW, I mean, I don't know, I'm not there, but you see, you had Max Caster tweet out, we don't want him back. You saw MJF retweet that we don't want him back. MJF is not on record saying that we don't want these guys who don't want to work with the company. We're glad they're gone. Yeah, obviously he was talking about Miro. He obviously was talking about Aleister Black. I thought he was talking about little Andrade, to be honest with you, which is why
Darby Allin also on, I think it was with Ariel Helwani, like he didn't name names, but he said that we cut the cancer out of AEW, and he wasn't talking about CM Punk. He's close with CM Punk. Right. So he was talking about guys like Black and Miro, and So, I mean, it does seem like the consensus over there is like, no, when you were here, you were playing politics and didn't want to take losses. So don't come back after you tried to see if the grass was greener over there and it wasn't, you know?
No, and like him and Zelina, I think that they could be booked phenomenally in AEW. I really do, but I don't want to see it at this point. Like, he failed in AEW. I think it was a failure in AEW, and I think it was on him. Like, he didn't want to take losses. Like, who the fuck are you, right?
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to beat that horse in on him, but I just don't want to see him back. Who I would want to see in AEW that was released, the Motor City Machine Guns probably should have went to AEW in the first place. Probably would have been much better suited than WWE. I thought they'd be going to NXT or something. WWE doesn't know what the fuck to do with their tag division. Motor City Machine Guns, I think, would be fire to add to just, man, you're talking the Rascals, and you're talking FTR, you're talking the Young Bucks, you're talking Motor City Machine Guns. There's Cope and Cage for the tag titles, bro, and they're like in their debut match or something.
Insane.
Come on, man. So I would love to see Motor City Machine Guns. Plus, they can fuck around in ROH for a little bit if need be. You got Santos Escobar, I think, could do just beautiful things in AEW. I think either on the ROH side, mixed in with CMLL, or just on AEW themselves. I think Santos Escobar is immensely talented. And then from the women, I think Kaylee Ray is just fucking phenomenal. The Alba Fire over there. Kaylee Ray is so immensely talented. I think she can add great things to the women's division. Mm-hmm. Or you can even, we're always talking about the lack of tag teams. I think Isla Dawn weighs Kaylee Ray down in big ways. I really do. But you could also put them in the tag team division if you wanted to go that route as well. But I think she is just so good, who they called Alba Fire over there. And then Zoe Stark. I think Zoe Stark, for what AEW needs in there, for what they look for in that division, workhorse, Zoe Stark is fucking awesome. And I think she got just a raw shake because she was so good. Every time she got the opportunity, she got injured and then she gets released. So, like, of all of them that got like a bad shake, to me, it was her. And I think that she would excel in AEW, whether that's TBS division or even fucking around in ROH. What about you, man?
I think that Apollo Crews comes in, wins the title, and that's it. Everybody else, go find it. Nah, man. I definitely agree with what you were saying about the Malachi Black thing. I feel like if everyone could put like their ego aside and like have him come in for a short run, I would have him come in to elevate Brody King. Like, have him come in as a heel, feud with Brody King. That's what elevates Brody King to that next level. Because we see even here, like, he's in the main event picture. He's mixing it up with the world title, but he's not at that level where it's a believable, oh, Brody's probably going to win this matchup. So I feel like, how do we elevate him? Bringing Malachi Black back in. If it's just to elevate Brody King and then that's it, I wouldn't be mad at that. And I think that he would be open to doing that because he's good friends with Brody King. So I would be open to bringing him in if that was the case. Motor City Machine Guns, like you said, I think that they should have picked AEW before they even went to WWE, because there was a lot of talk of they're either getting signed to AEW or WWE. I never thought that WWE was going to actually do these guys properly. Like, the Motor City Machine Guns, legendary tag team, and we saw like they were like just catering for WWE. It was like they were gone by the wayside after a quick couple weeks. Won the tag titles pretty quickly, lost them, and then that was it. So there's a lot of teams you can mix up with the Motor City Machine Guns and AEW. That would be fire. And yeah, like the women, I feel like you said you could really start boosting up that women's division in AEW, whether it's for TBS or world title or even for the tag titles, because there's a lot of talented women on this. Even if you want to bring in Zelina Vega as just Zelina Vega, maybe Malachi goes find something else to do, right? There's a lot of talented women that you could start bringing to these divisions, so we don't have situations like we currently have where it's like, hey, what are we doing? Where's this female? Where's this one? Where's this one? And then there's nothing to do. So I feel like this should be an opportunity to really boost up that women's division, like have a lot of, new faces come in and really grow that division, because they have a lot of talent. It's just, it's hard when you have, all these like monkey wrenches thrown into the plans and then all of a sudden nothing's happening. So with that being said, yeah. No, Santos Escobar, bring him in, Don Cal's family. No. Don Cal's family. Do it.
I'm down. Fucking throw him in there, man. No, I think Escobar's uber talented. You were joking about Apollo Crews. Of all the releases, I do think that guy's got the in-ring skills. Like, maybe he's got the most of all the releases. However, he's fucking no charisma, right? Throw him in ROH. I think he'd be great for ROH as well. So I wouldn't mind if they brought him in. You mentioned with the Malachi Black elevating Brody. I think that Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews, that has a lot of legs to it. Buddy kind of got thrown away with Brody or with Bandito. So maybe you could do a Black and Buddy taking on Brodito. I think that would be a fun match as well. So, I mean, if he's going to come in and do business, I think the guy's super fucking talented. And you can bring Zelina in with him. Zelina, Malachi, Buddy, you can do some shit there. But the guy's got to be willing to work, obviously. I think he's great. I really do. So I think there is some legs there. But yeah, let's give Apollo Crews some real love because that guy is super fucking talented.
Hoo-ha Nation, bring him back. Bring it back.
And I just think a lot of these guys might be more suited for TNA anyway. Like the whole Wyatt family. I think Nikki Cross is going to excel if she goes over to TNA. But it's just kind of funny because TNA works so, symmetrically with WWE. Then these guys get released from WWE, then they go sign with TNA. It's like, oh, okay. Going down in NXT again. It's just all weird, but no, whatever. But yeah, I don't want to see 13 WWE releases picked up by AEW. I don't.
Yeah, we don't need the Wyndham 6 in AEW. You know what I mean?
No, we don't. No.
But yeah, I mean, with that being said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button here on the Circle Debate. Dude, we have watch alongs every single day. Raw, SmackDown, AEW, TNA, NXT. Every single day we got watch alongs. We have gaming. We have shows like this where we do post shows. We talk sports. Talk about Game Breaker Sports, bro. What are we doing this week?
Oh, man. Me and Mike Dog recorded something on was it Tuesday night? Yeah, me and Mike Dog recorded an episode Tuesday night, but it was real laggy. So I don't know if I'm going to upload it, which sucks. Because we did a really badass impromptu draft during the middle of the show.
Nice.
It was an all-time scumbags in sports draft, dude. It was fucking fire. But it lagged. Yeah, but it lagged a lot. So I don't know if I'm gonna release it, which sucks. But we reviewed the NFL draft. So you might catch that up sometime this week. Jameson's been begging to do something, so I don't know. I'm gonna try to get him like 5 to 10 minutes or something.
I love Jameson's predictions.
Yeah, and I was like, we don't have anything to do right now, buddy. I'm sorry. He's like, well, I can just show my wrestling figures. I was like, yeah, I guess you can just show your wrestling figures.
Hey, there's a lot of people who collect. You might bring in a whole nother set of fans to the Circle Debate channel.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, he's got like 22 in the last 3 months. I'm just like, man,
Nice.
You're such a spoiled little kid. But no, it is what it is. As long as it makes him happy, right? But no, man, we'll see. Otherwise, we'll be back. We should be back next Tuesday for sure. But man, I had an absolute blast doing this with you. Dynamite was fire. I knew you were going to go 4 3/4. That's why I stayed at 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 because you're always like a quarter of a grade ahead of me. So I was like, I guarantee he's going to go 4 3/4. I was like, bam, nailed it. But man, great show. And this was an awesome time as well, bro. Really appreciate you.
Nah, I appreciate you, man. I always have a blast. And this is the highlight of my week always. So thank you so much, man. Thank you to everybody, like I said, who viewed. Follow us on Instagram at AEW Podcast. Follow on TikTok at All Elite DS. And yeah, man, I am very excited for the future of this show. I got the Wrestling DeLorean possibly coming back in a couple weeks. Scouter Vision with my wife. So podcasting is beautiful right now. I love it. But I got to say, highlight of the week, All Elite Dirt Sheet. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everyone who tunes in, honestly.
Yes, sir. No, absolutely. Always appreciate you, man. I can't wait to see the return of the DeLorean and the podcast that I know absolutely nothing about.
Scouter Vision. We'll make you a Dragon Ball fan, man.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say, Pikachu, but I knew I was off, which is why
oh man, that would have been very off.
I don't know much about that either, but no, man, you're gonna rock it. I can't wait for the return of the DeLorean for sure, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in. We definitely appreciate that.
I do got to say, there is a lot of Dragon Ball toys too. So if Jameson wants a new collection, let's get him into Scouter Vision.
All right, Dragon Ball. I was thinking about throwing Marvel on for him. We haven't gotten there yet, so I was thinking about starting at like the first one. I haven't watched a Marvel movie since Endgame. So
same, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I was thinking about putting like the original 26 on or something for him. That would like occupy a year. So.
Nah, for sure, man. That's awesome. But yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much, Tim. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good week. We'll catch you next week with the All Elite Dirt Sheet right after AEW Dynamite.
Like a